Hey, what's going on, guys? We are the Elite Muffins. My name is Sam.
My name is John.
And today we have a brand new review and a brand new background.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So hopefully gives our videos more energy and kind of makes it more entertaining for you guys, so we're just not seeing pictures and edited over our voices. So yeah,
Makes it seem more like we're talking straight to you.
So yeah.
So
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is directed by Christopher McQuarrie and stars Tom Cruise, Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames and Jeremy Renner.
So the plot, we see Ethan Hunt, as we've seen in all the other Mission Impossibles. He is now sent on his hardest mission he's ever done, where he's trying to shut down a rogue crime organisation called the Syndicate. However, meanwhile, back in America, the CIA are trying to take over the IMF.
Yep. So this may actually be, in my opinion, the best Mission Impossible yet. I didn't think they'd top it in Ghost Protocol, but they might have done here. I mean, starting off with the action is superb compared to the others. I mean, it was really good in Ghost Protocol when he was climbing the building in Dubai and all the gadgets weren't working. It made for some intense stuff. But in this, there are some intense scenes, and also the comedy is great as well. But like the action, it's shot really well by Christopher McQuarrie, and I think he actually almost did a better job than Brad Bird.
So the plot in this film is very simple, as we saw in Ghost Protocol, and not anywhere near as convoluted as we saw in the first 3 Mission Impossibles. And I feel that makes a lot better film, as it's a lot easier to follow and it makes a lot more sense. With it being a simpler plot, it also means you don't have to think about it as much and you can just enjoy the action.
Because that was the problem with, I mean, the Mission Impossible, the first one, is very good, but it's kind of a messy plot, and it makes for, you have to concentrate quite hard to actually understand what's happening in it. Whereas this, it's kind of a more light-hearted and fun film with some serious tones into it as well. But it's just a more watchable film than Mission Impossible, I think. Anyway, Ghost Protocol was a really interesting film, but had not quite as good a villain as this one, which I found was really interesting, and a really compelling story, and he had a good idea and kind of plot to take down the IMF, and it was a really interesting idea. And I really liked the guy in it. He was a good actor, and I haven't seen him in many things, but I think he might be in a few more things because he was very good in this movie.
So carrying on, Simon Pegg, as we saw in Ghost Protocol, is also in this film, and he does the same role playing Benji in this film as the last one. He brings the comedic value to the film, which is good as it gives it a lighter mood. However, it's not like overly comedy that it takes you completely out of the film, and they find a perfect balance.
So we have a newcomer in this film. Rebecca Ferguson plays Ilsa Faust. She's kind of the new female lead in the film, and I really enjoyed her. She had a good part. You didn't quite know what side she was on compared to what you have in Ghost Protocol, the female lead. She was just kind of, she wasn't cookie cutter actress, but she was just like, she was pretty average in it. I enjoyed her performance in it, but this one, it was so much more interesting. She had a really good backstory as well as the villain, and just the general like kind of back and forth spy double crossing type thing was really interesting and kept me in the film.
So now moving on to the bad. There wasn't too much bad, however I found that a lot of, well maybe not a lot, but quite a bit could be predictable and you knew what was going to happen. Obviously through the other Mission Impossibles this also happened, but I feel you knew an entire arc before it even happened, whereas the others you might know like just what's going to happen. You might know don't do this because you know something bad's going to happen, whereas this time it was like really obvious stuff without spoiling anything, that you just knew some stuff was going to go wrong before it did.
Well, personally, I didn't find it as bad as predictable as you did. I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the thing that it was kind of, it kept you guessing a lot of the times. But there's only certain points where you know he's going to get out of it because it's Tom Cruise, and a lot of people go to the cinema to see Tom Cruise in these films, and they're not exactly going to kill him off because that's like the star power that they need. Yeah. But it's just a lot of points are pretty. You can see some of this, like Sam said, a lot of the story acts come in before they even end, and that is kind of off-putting when you're watching the film, but I don't think it's too bad that you should not go see it, because you definitely should watch it in cinemas.
So as a last negative, the storyline, even though it's really good when you're in the cinema, I feel after the cinema, maybe a day or a couple of days later, the plot is fairly forgettable, just like we saw in Ghost Protocol. And that's not necessarily a negative because it's still an enjoyable plot. However, if you're forgetting something, it's maybe not the best plot, because in films like even Mad Max, that has a lot of action. However, you remember the storyline. Like it's come out in May and we've only just done a review and we could remember it perfectly. Or I feel with this you might forget some storyline. I would strongly advise going and watching this film.
Definitely.
Tom Cruise does a really good job as always.
Yes, he does. He puts a lot of effort into his acting, and I really like the fact that he does all his own stunts and stuff. It really shows that he's putting effort in. Like he's not doing like a Bruce Willis in Die Hard and kind of phoning in his performance. I really enjoyed him in it anyway.
So guys, I think we're going to give this film an A.
Yep, definitely worth recommending seeing it in cinemas anyway.
So guys, if you have enjoyed, please be sure to hit like, slap subscribe, and leave us a comment down below.
Yep.
If you have any suggestions for other films we could review, or any constructive feedback.
As always, I've been Sam,
I've been Jordan.
and we will see you in the next one.